all. So today we are going to discuss one of the best side hustle idea, which I hardly see anybody discussing about. So make sure you stay till the end because we are going to discuss first what it is, secondly, how you can get started with it, and finally, why it is one of the best side hustle. So when you search online, most of the side hustles which are mentioned are either related to driving or delivery or something where you have to spend, a lot of time and you earn a small amount of, money. So you are kind of trading your time for money, and it's also not very, financially lucrative. Or in some of the other side hustles are very capital intensive. For example, real estate investment which is good, but again, you need a lot of capital to get started. So when you're looking for side hustle, you should look for something, one, which you can get started with relatively easy with less capital. And secondly, it should have ability to, scale up. So yes, today you are starting as a side hustle, but tomorrow, can you scale it up and make it as your full-time profession? Most people look to get started with side hustle because either they want to earn some extra cash, extra money, or they are not happy with their current 9 to 5 job and they want to get into something which later they can make it as a full-time profession. Or like it can be something like a 4-hour work week thing where you work for a small amount of hours and you make enough money so that you have time to do things which you are really passionate about. So one side hustle which offer all of this is starting an insurance agency or selling an insurance. And I'll tell you why it is the case. So selling an insurance is one of the best side hustle because one, it is very financially rewarding. So, you can make thousands of dollars by selling only one insurance policy. And, in US, you have more than 300 million people and everyone needs multiple kind of insurance. So the sky is the limit on how much you can do here. So that's one big thing. You are not dependent on number of hours you spend or trading your time for dollars. It depends on how many policies you sell. And that is something which, you can set processes around, develop systems and, kind of scale it up. Number two, there's a limited downside. So in most of the other hustles where, you have investments or something like that, there's an opportunity that, it may go negative or you may have losses. But when you're selling an insurance, you make money when you sell a policy and you get a certain commission. For example, if you sell a life insurance policy and you get $1,500 commission on one policy, that's the upside you have, but there's no downside because insurance policy is sold by is basically owned by the insurance company. So if somebody has to file a claim, they are going to file a claim and insurance company will resolve it. So you are going to make every time you sell a policy, but there's hardly any downside related with this. Second is barrier to entry. So, one thing with insurance is it's not something which someone can start, tomorrow. Yes, you need certain things in place. You need to be licensed, you need to be appointment, and it takes some time. So there is some amount of barrier to entry, which is good, so that not everybody, um, is going to crowd this market. And if you are someone who's really looking to build, a long-term career or a wealth, then, this is something where you can spend time initially and your competitors will not be easily to get into over a period of time. Number four is like new opportunities which are coming today with social media and all the new means of communication. So previously, a lot of insurance agents, they used to sell policy, one-on-one, meeting people and trying to convince them. But today with social media, you can creatively come up with marketing campaigns, reach out to thousands or millions of people. And sell insurance that way. So if you are already an influencer and having some kind of influence, it's a great way to monetize that influence, which you maybe have. The number 5 is recurring revenue, and that's a big one. So there are a lot of different kind of insurance policies which you can sell, which will have a recurring commission associated with it. So for example, over a period of time, if you sell, say 1,000 policies, and on each policy you're getting, say around, $200 commission, then every year you'll be getting around, $200,000. And that is a recurring revenue. If somebody leaves, then yes, that revenue will reduce, but generally most of the agencies have more than 90% retention. So as long as you are able to add more customers to replace people who are leaving, you are good. So that is something, which will reduce a lot of burden on you once you build some amount of book of business. And this recurring revenue will make sure that you have enough time to do, whatever you want to do. Now let's discuss about, some of the life insurance products and how much financially you can gain by selling these products. Let's start with life insurance. So generally, when you sell a life insurance policy, you get somewhere around 80 to 100 or 120% commission based on amount of premium client is paying. And that's a huge amount. So for example, if your client is paying, say, $1,800 premium annually, then your commission will be, say, somewhere around, $1,500, let's assume. So that $1,500 you're making by selling one policy. Now, one kind of downside with life insurance is that there's not much recurring revenue. If you sell permanent, there might be some, but generally it's a one-time commission, but it's a huge one. So effectively, if you're selling one policy, you're making $1,500. And if you sell one policy every month, you will end up making $18,000, per annum. Now, if you sell two policy per month, you will making $36,000 per annum. 5 policy per month, $90,000 per annum. And 10 policy per month is more than 180K. So you can see, by just selling few policies or even one policy a month, you are getting a huge upside. And, if you were doing any other side hustle, you'll be spending a lot of time driving, traveling, delivering, or whatever. And I'm not sure if it will even earn a fraction of this amount. Now, another insurance product is property and casualty related. So basically, all your auto insurance, home insurance, or commercial, they come in this property and casualty category. And one good thing with, this kind of insurance is that it has a recurring revenue built in. So if you sell a policy where, say, a client is paying $1,000 premium, but your commission is 10%, then you'll make $100 in that policy. But this $100 will be recurring annually as long as the client stays with you. So, that is a big benefit, though commission is comparatively lesser than life side, but this recurring revenue makes it, very lucrative. So here, let's assume that, if you are making on an average, say, $200 commission on one policy, then, effectively you will be getting this $200 every year without, selling again. So if you're selling, say, 10 policies, you're making $2,000. If you're selling 50 policies, you're making around $20,000. If you're selling 1,000 policies or your book of business is 1,000 policies, big, then you'll be making $200,000 every year. And that's why you see, a lot of people in insurance, when you join, they tell you that, hey, work for a few years, build your book of business, then you'll not have to work throughout your life. And this recurring revenue, is something which is very strong. Later, you can hire people and, who can service the policy or get more clients. But as long as you are getting enough clients to compensate for people who are leaving, I mean, you are good. Okay, so how do you get started with, starting an insurance agency or selling insurance? So now my first thing which you'll have to do is to get licensed. So broadly, if you look, there are two categories of licensing. One is related to life and health insurance, which covers life insurance, health insurance, Medicare, these things. And on another side, there's property and casualty insurance, which covers auto, home, commercial, and these kind of products. So once you get, I mean, licensing takes some time. So you can search online, find what are the requirements in your state, and once you get licensed in one state, it's pretty easy to get licensed in other states. You don't have to take exam. It's the same licensing can be easily extended. But uh, it again, this is the reason why it's better to get started as a side hustle, because you need some time to prepare for exam, take a licensing exam. Some people do it in few weeks, some people take it few months. So it's good to start something on side. Now I recommend you start first with life and health, because as we talked, like in life insurance, there's a huge premium you'll be making in each policy, and that'll help you in getting cash from the door, and getting some cash which will help you in building your agency. So that's one thing, getting licensed. Once you're licensed, next step is getting appointed. So what has to happen is that insurance company should appoint you as an agent, um, which basically means that you are able to sell their product. Now this is also a little tricky, and some agents struggle with it, because a lot of insurance companies, they don't directly appoint people who are new to business, and that's where we can help you on Friendly Agent, how to get appointed, and which are the carriers you should be appointed first, and all those things. So once you're licensed and appointed, like when you are pretty much set to start selling insurance. And so these are the basic steps. If you want to learn more, then I'll drop a link below. You can set up a strategy session with us, and we can help you in creating a path for getting into insurance, selling insurance, starting an insurance agency. Or you can also join a free course. There'll be a link below, which you can sign up and start learning about how to get started with this insurance business. So thanks for your time. If you enjoy this video, please hit like and subscribe to this channel. We'll be discussing more about topics related to insurance. Thank you.